Drop. Certified level boy.
What's good, fam? This might be the lamest, most desperate move in Drake's entire career. And I ain't saying that lightly. This ain't just he lost a rap battle. This ain't just he caught a stray from Kendrick. No, what's going on right now? This is Drake going full villain, pulling strings behind the scenes, trying to cancel another man's show in his own city, just so the spotlight don't shift. But Kendrick ain't blank. Kendrick ain't post no tweets. Kendrick ain't even drop another song. My man just showed up, stood on stage, and that alone was louder than any diss Drake ever wrote. Because now we got confirmed reports that Drake's team allegedly tried to cancel not one, but both of Kendrick's Toronto shows at the Rogers Center. And that move alone just made him look like the most insecure artist in the game. You supposed to be the king of the six, but you calling venues to block shows? Yikes. Now before the OVO stands flood the comments, talking that's fake news, let me cook with the facts real quick. This story broke from a Twitter page called lamest Morale, but it ain't just a random page. They cited a full article published by Anscape.com. And guess what? Anscape is owned by ESPN. This ain't DJ Academics. This ain't no Reddit post. This is one of the biggest media companies in the world saying Drake allegedly tried to block Kendrick's shows. And if that don't shake the culture, I don't know what does. The writer of the piece even said, I wouldn't write this if it didn't come from sources close to the Rogers Center. So yeah, they're confident. They say if it turns out to be wrong, they'll deal with it. But right now, it's looking real valid. So now, let's get into the why. According to the article, Drake's camp tried to have Kendrick's shows postponed or canceled so they could schedule OVO Fest at the Rogers Center. Let's break that down. Drake's biggest op just dissed him in front of the entire world, dropped back-to-back anthems, got the whole internet chanting, Not Like Us, like it's the new national anthem. And then, this same man decides to headline 2 nights in Drake's own city, in the biggest stadium in Canada? Yeah, if you Drake, that hurts. That's like Kendrick pulling up to his front yard and setting up a fireworks show while the whole block watching. So, what Drake do? He tried to stop it before it happens, allegedly. But it didn't work. And that's where the L gets real disrespectful. Not only did the shows go on, they sold out. Not only did they sell out, Drake has never solo headlined the Rogers Center like that. Not once. Kendrick did it twice, back to back. Let that cook for a second. This ain't some underground venue. This ain't some theater tour. This is the biggest possible stage in Canada. And Kendrick owned it, all while Drake was behind the scenes trying to shut it down. You couldn't stop it. And now the whole world see you tried and failed. We got to talk about how bad this made Drake look in Toronto, because the optics, they nasty. For years, bro been calling himself the king of the six, taking pics courtside at Raptors games, name dropping local spots, rapping his whole identity in Canadian pride. But when it came time to protect that turf, he couldn't. He tried and he failed. The article even said that the Rogers Center and the Toronto Blue Jays ain't even rock with him like that. Like, yeah, he filmed part of headlines there, used Blue Jays imagery for back-to-back, but that's about it. They said he cool with the Raptors, but the Blue Jays, that bond was always paper thin. So when Drake came asking to stop Kendrick's shows, the stadium was like, nah, we good. They wasn't about to fumble 2 sold-out nights of Kendrick Lamar just to help Aubrey save face. That's business. That's power, and it ain't on Drake's side no more. We talked about the Streisand effect, right? We're trying to hide something just makes it go viral. Yeah, we gotta rename that. This is now the Aubrey effect. Cause Drake be doing all this strategic streams, PR moves, distractions, and every time it just makes the L bigger. When Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, what did Drake do? Acted like it didn't exist. No response, no tweet, just vibes. But the silence made the song grow. People played it harder. DJs ran it back 3 times, whole arenas chanting that hook. Families dancing to it like it's happy birthday. Then came the Kai Cenat stream. Drake thought if he linked with Kai, did some funny IG live stuff, maybe that'd drown out Kendrick's shows. But guess what? That stream got postponed or flopped or barely got attention. Meanwhile, Kendrick's clips from Toronto were all over timelines. Politicians shouting him out, stadium lights flashing, fans screaming every lyric like it was church. That man pulled up and baptized the six. What Kendrick did in Toronto, that wasn't just a concert. That was strategy. That was psychological warfare, and he ain't have to say a word. He just walked into Drake's house, performed 2 perfect shows, kept it calm, didn't diss, didn't brag, didn't tweet, because the moment spoke for itself. Like the article said, he was serene, like he knew the power of what he was doing. He ain't need bars to diss Drake this time. He let the venue, the crowd, and the city speak for him. And that's the type of loss Drake ain't ready for. Cause now, he not fighting Kendrick, he fighting himself. Yeah, if you still watching, you already know this ain't just a rap beef no more. This is about legacy, power, and a man that's slowly unraveling in front of us. Drop a like if you tired of these fake industry games and just want the truth. Comment if you think Drake fumbled the bag harder with silence or with these behind the scenes moves. And stay locked in, because in the next half of this video, we're going to break down how Kendrick's calmness might have delivered the most disrespectful moment in rap without even saying a word. Let's be real. This ain't just Kendrick outperforming Drake in his city. This is about how the energy in the industry is shifting. And that Toronto weekend, that was the moment the tide turned for real. Because Kendrick ain't just perform. He orchestrated a moment, and it was poetic. Picture this, 50,000 fans screaming the hook to Humble in the middle of the Rogers Center, phones lit, stadium rumbling, and the man behind the mic, calm, cool, focused, like he already knew how big this was going to be before he even stepped on stage. Now imagine you, Drake, sitting back in that mansion, watching that clip circulate across every feed, every blog, every group chat. You already tried to stop it. You already got the receipts saying your team was trying to shut it down. And still, Kendrick won. Not with bars, not with IG posts, but with silence and execution. That type of L, you don't recover from it easy. This is where Drake's whole image starts to collapse, because what's left when the hits don't hit and the city you run don't move when you say move. You got artists who once praised him, now falling back. You got venues that once bent the knee, now picking business over his ego. You got fans starting to see through the gloss and filters. He dropped that song to Mazza, and who even heard it? Let's keep it a buck. Drake used to be the stamp of success. You got a verse from him, your career got a rocket boost. He co-signed you, you was chart bound. But now, people saying his features only hit when the other artist brings the fire. Think about that. Drake no longer sets the wave. He's just riding them. The whole Drake stimulus package might be expired. And that's a terrifying thing for a man whose whole identity been built on being the most relevant artist in music. Let's get even pettier. The numbers. That Kai Cenat stream should have been a W, big collab, big hype, but it got pushed back, lost momentum. Meanwhile, Kendrick's tour clips did more engagement without even trying. That 2 Miles of collab barely made noise. Didn't touch charts like it should have if Drake was still that stamp. Not like how Look Alive hit, not like Versace, not like Yes Indeed. Back then, a Drake verse was gold. Now, fans scroll past. If your name ain't Future or 21 and Drake hop on your track, folks might not even care. That's wild, cause that used to be the cheat code, the big joker in the deck. Here's the real twist though. Drake ain't fighting Kendrick no more. Nah, this ain't about K-Dot. This is a battle between Drake and his own ego. You see it, every silent ill, every unspoken embarrassment, every attempt to distract fans from the obvious. He ain't clapping back with bars. He clapping back with moves that show he cares too much. The court cases, the silence, the Kai streams, the passive-aggressive IG posts, the prayer hands emoji. It's like bro fighting a ghost, trying to spin the narrative, but the crowd already left the theater. And the more he fights, the more it looks like he can't take the ill. That's what Kendrick meant when he said, this is a forever life battle with yourself. Because the worst thing Drake ever had to face is a version of him that ain't invincible anymore. This the saddest part. Drake ain't just a rapper. He's a legacy, a brand, a movement. But right now, that brand is bleeding. And Kendrick didn't have to make it that way with violence or shade or theatrics. He just moved with precision. Let the people do the talking. Let the music do the walking. This ain't about a diss track anymore. This is about who the people believe in. Drake tried to cancel Kendrick's shows and couldn't. Drake tried to hide Not Like Us and failed. Drake tried to make noise with streams and collabs and nobody cared. You can't force momentum. You can't buy respect. You can't sue your way back into the throne. So where does Drake go from here? He could drop a classic and shift the energy. That's the thing. He's still Drake, still got the pen, still got the resources, but he got to let go of the ego. He got to stop trying to control the narrative and just rap. Because right now, Kendrick ain't even in promo mode. He just living life and the world following. Meanwhile, Drake's in scramble mode, feeling the heat. And if he don't pivot right, this gonna keep spiraling. Because this ain't just an L in the booth. This is an L in culture. So let me ask y'all, did Drake just take the biggest non-musical L of his whole career, or is there still a path for him to get his respect back? Drop a comment, hit that like, and if you still rocking with this deep dive, stay tuned, because my next video breaking down Pusha T's Travis Scott diss is going to be even more disrespectful. We ain't done yet. Drake might have lost the battle, and maybe even the war, but the real war now is him versus himself. And from what I'm seeing, he losing that too.
Yeah. West Coast energy. What's understood don't need to be explained. Let's get to it. They said Drake tried to stop the whole set. Kendrick came through, didn't break a sweat. Roger sent a pack, that crowd never missed. He booked in the 6 and you got cooked in the 6. 2 nights back to back, no promo tricks. Meanwhile Drizzy caught in every political fix. Tried to shut it down, but the stage lit up. Kendrick played humble, Drake sipped that cup. Booked in the 6, now we shook in the 6. Whole squad chanting like they banging with the Crips. From Compton to Toronto, they singing every bit. You lost your crown, now you drowned in the drip. Not like us, booming like it's anthem season. You were scheming backstage, looking for a reason. ESPN backed it, Anscape caught the click. Your name in the credits, but you ain't make the flick. You king of the 6, but where the power at? Even Blue Jay said, nah, we ain't riding for that. Booked in the 6, but you got cooked in the 6. Whole city tuned in while you trend off the dish.
Whispers in the hallway, secrets in the suite. Suits in the box seats, watch you take a seat. Legends don't beg for the stage, they build it. You tried to erase them, but now it's been some.
Booked in the 6, now we shook in the 6. Kendrick took your crowd and your stadium picks. From TDE to the Dome, it's the loudest eclipse. You lost the plot, Aubrey, better rewrite your script. Now you hiding in streams, claiming this for the fans. But you ducked all the smoke when he clapped with his hands. Not a tweet, not a bar, just emotional tricks. He booked in the 6 and you got cooked in the 6. Kai's stream fell through, Grammy block got exposed. You try to move in silence, but the silence only grows. All these L's stacking like vinyls on the floor. Used to be the wave, now you just a shore.
So next time you plot, better plan it legit. Cause legends don't panic, they stand and commit. You booked in the 6, thought you controlled a mix, but got cooked in the 6, and we ain't forget.
Yeah. Thought it was over. That was just a warm-up. This where the smoke turned permanent. First night was the message, second night was the proof. No theatrics, no drama, just Kendrick in the booth. No openness, no filler, just the city in awe. While you sat in your condo trying to fix what you saw. You used to be the blueprint, now you just a note. Trying to play chess moves with a bishop and a goat. You ain't blocked the show, but you exposed yourself. Now Toronto looking at you like protect your health. Booked in the 6 and you got cooked in the 6. Even silence got echoes when the records hit. Kendrick ain't tweet, he ain't need a reply. He just stood on that stage while you watched him fly. Your fans say it's strategy, I call it a spiral. A stream with a gamer don't match, no recital. Kai couldn't save you, OVO fest failed. You was pushing fake power, Kendrick's presence prevailed. No merch drop, no dances, no need for the flash. Just bars, just truth, just the crowd moving fast. He walked in your city, didn't flinch at the stakes. Made the throne look shaky every move he makes. That Roger Center echo hit different live. 2 sold out shows with no room to lie. King of the 6, that's a seasonal claim. Cause Kendrick walked through and froze the whole game. Booked in the 6, and you got cooked in the 6. Your empire looking like a house of tricks. Kendrick ain't blink, he just let it unfold. 2 nights, 2 wins, and a story retold. Let's talk optics, let's talk tone. You used to run trends, now you posting alone. When the headlines flip, it ain't just the press. Your own backyard said we ain't impressed. That ain't beef, that's momentum lost. That's what happens when you panic at a boss. Kendrick ain't play, he just calmly arrived and left your whole myth barely alive. This ain't even revenge, it's routine. You play dirty, he played clean. He booked the 6, and you got cooked again.